We've saved about $1 million in reducing turnover, principally of employees who come into the groundman lineman classifications.
Aviation safety in the United States is my major concern.
In the highly competitive financial services industry of today, quality service is absolutely critical. Our customers at First Interstate Bank have noticed shorter lines in the lobby, shorter lines in the motor bank, and quicker responses to their telephone inquiries.
Our patients are provided immediate care and suctioning due to the prompt responses of doctors and nurses.
4 critical problems, 4 effective solutions. Each solution resulted from a powerful technology, human performance technology. Performance technology is a set of methods and processes for solving problems and realizing opportunities related to the performance of people. People's performance. Let's talk about what that means. Every organization exists to produce results. When you plan your organization, you have a vision of the results you want, to manufacture a competitive product or to provide the best service, all at a competitive price. Those results are the performance you want your organization's people to achieve. But chances are you're frustrated by the poor results you've achieved by spending lots of money on automation and training, and you wonder why those efforts haven't worked out as well as you expected. Your people can deliver peak performance, but only when they share your vision, when they know the results you want. But knowing what results to aim for is not as simple as it sounds. Let's see why. Your organization's products and services are produced and delivered in a results environment that is impacted by many factors. For example, world events such as trade agreements, aging in the local labor market, changing government regulations affecting competition, and even the weather's effects on the cost of farm commodities. To respond to factors such as these, you must have effective strategies for changing the results environment. Human performance technology enables you to analyze systematically the internal and external factors which affect your organization, and to put into place the processes that will unlock the potential of your people and help them achieve your vision of your organization. Performance technology is about real solutions to real problems. You've seen 4 executives in 4 different environments describe remarkable results. Let's return now to each of these 4 organizations and see how performance technology helped these executives achieve their results. In the early 1980s, the Florida Power Corporation had a problem: a 48.5% groundman turnover in the lineman ranks. Finding qualified candidates while following government hiring regulations was a challenge, and losing an average of 49 entry-level people each year was very costly in supervisor time, wasted training, union grievances, and poor productivity.
We knew we had a problem, and so we went to our training professionals in the company and asked them to take a total look at the way we were selecting people initially and training them. They, with their experience, went and got with line management and talked to them about the applicants they were receiving and the deficiencies of these people. Based on that analysis, we evaluated the fact that the selection process was too artificial and not job relevant enough. So we specifically redesigned the training people and line management, redesigned the selection process to make it more performance-based and more related to the actual tasks that the applicants would be performing once they became groundmen and eventually linemen. I think the results have been excellent. We have been able to reduce our turnover from 48.5% to under 2%. We've been able to improve our retention rate of people who go into this classification. We have about 95% retention rate, which of course is very important to us. And another benefit which we're very happy with is that this group of people have about 67% fewer accidents than what was happening prior to this whole process taking place. Our promotion rate has been excellent as a result of this program. Not only is the quality of person coming into the program better, but the training they receive throughout the program, now that it's performance-based and self-paced, is also greatly improved. And the result has been where it took about 7.5 years for a person to progress through the various classifications to journeyman, it now takes less than 5 years. We estimate that another $1 million could be saved as a result of improved productivity with these more highly trained groundmen and linemen.
So, by assessing an external factor, the labor market, Florida Power was able to design, develop, and validate, and then implement an effective and efficient hiring program. Evaluation showed it saved $841,000 in payroll costs alone over a 3-year period. Now let's turn to another organization's critical problem, aviation safety. The Congress and the public were concerned. The Secretary of Transportation told the Federal Aviation Administration to review their entire safety inspection program. Often, managers respond to concerns about human performance by throwing training at them. But performance technologists know that training is not always the answer, even when it is needed. It's often only part of the solution. When the FAA's performance technologists finished their assessment, they concluded that the aircraft safety inspection program lacked consistent standards. There were 3 causes. 1, lack of agreement on how to inspect. 2, inadequate training. And 3, no systematic tracking of performance.
We're really turning the whole organization around. We involved our flight standards inspector workforce in a task analysis. Then we used the data they provided to redesign all the elements of our system. Using what we call job task systems management, we're streamlining our selection and hiring, our training, and our career planning. We now have the data to do realistic planning. If airlines buy new equipment, we know how much more work that means for our inspectors, and we can budget for it. So we benefit, the public benefits, and safety is definitely enhanced. Our inspectors have benefited in that they work together with management to agree on what they should do and what their standards of performance should be. They will know what training they need and what career options are open to them. They know that we're committed to helping them be really good at their jobs.
So, by using performance technology systematically for analysis, design, and implementation, the FAA developed a job database, task procedures and standards, and a tracking system for work accomplishment. The system is flexible and cost-effective, and it can be easily updated for new aircraft and systems as they are introduced. Service is described as the growth industry of the near future. The cost of quality service is a major concern for many managers, especially those in financial service organizations. Looking for ways to improve productivity is a way of life for the managers and employees of First Interstate Bank of Denver.
When we looked at our environment from the customer's point of view, we determined very quickly that they demand high-quality service. And that, of course, at a time when controlling costs is very important. The challenge for us was to balance between providing high-quality service and controlling our costs. We know that the person performing a task is in the best position to determine how to do it better. The challenge for us was to develop a systematized process whereby they would be able to do just that. Improvement has been significant in a number of areas. In account information inquiry, we have seen a 50% increase in calls handled with no increase in staffing costs and with a 33% decrease in customer waiting time. In the motor bank, we saw a 28% reduction in wait time with, again, no increase in staff costs. And we are particularly proud of international letters of credit, where we reduced processing time from 72 to 24 hours on 80% of our letters of credit. This was a major contributor in our being awarded the Excellence in Export Award. The bottom line improvements have been significant. Our expenses have been reduced by more than $1,100,000, and at the same time, we've generated more than $300,000 in additional revenues. And most importantly, all of this has been done at a much higher level of customer service.
Managers and employees at First Interstate Bank use the strategies of performance technology to constantly assess their environments and determine desired results, analyze jobs and tasks, and design and implement desired changes. Work studies in ergonomics have reduced effort and improved productivity, and that makes people feel better about their work. Finally, let's see how performance technology worked in a medical setting. Little Company of Mary Hospital in Chicago had the best wall suction equipment right in the patient's room. Yet patients had to wait for treatment while portable suction equipment was delivered. Nurses and doctors weren't confident of their ability to use the wall suction equipment, so they kept asking for repeat training. And they used the wall suction equipment so rarely that they could never be comfortable with it. Through the strategies of performance technology, analysis showed that the wall suction equipment worked perfectly. Portable suction cost the patient $20, and it was an extra cost to the hospital. Doctors and nurses couldn't remember how to use the wall suction equipment. And finally, there was no feedback to staff on whether or not they used wall suction equipment.
We use the findings of the performance analysis to help with better location of equipment, to give feedback to the doctors and nursing staff, and we developed a job aid which trained the nursing staff and physicians for better use of our new equipment. The job aid has made it easier because if they don't use the equipment frequently, sometimes you forget the different steps in using the equipment. Therefore, with the job aid, just before they go in the patient's room, they can review the different steps, and it makes it much easier. It makes them more comfortable and certainly helps the patients. One of the things that we discovered was that the patients responded much better to quicker suctioning. We save the patient about $7,500 a year, and the hospital $3,000 a year, and that doesn't even touch the retraining that we were doing before.
So, the intervention at Little Company of Mary Hospital was a low-cost job aid. The impact on patient care cannot be expressed in dollars, nor can the savings and wasted training of doctors and nurses be readily calculated. But this is one more example of performance technology to produce results. Whether you need to respond to changing labor markets or consumer safety concerns, improve quality of service, protect patients' lives, or reduce cost, performance technology offers you many proven strategies for achieving results. The technology works in private industry, government agencies, educational institutions, and the armed forces. Performance technology is not just the training class that improves workers' skills, nor the new computer that saves time. It's a set of strategies that enables you to determine and then implement the best tactics for improving human performance in your organization. But what they are called is far less important than how they are used to produce results.